This Act of Kindness segment is sponsored by the folks at the Creek House in the heart of Granville Island. They encourage you to open up your heart and reach out and help someone in need.
Well, now joining us, we have Shira Morgan's mother, Tracy Dungate. Thank you for joining us on Our City Tonight. What an incredibly moving story you have to share with us today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh,
Appreciate
absolutely a pleasure. The acts of kindness. This couldn't be more kind than bringing life to other people through such terrible circumstances that can be really turned around. Tell us a bit of the story and how this happened.
In October of 2019, my oldest daughter, Shira, at the age of 36, suffered a brain aneurysm. So we knew fairly soon that it was not going to be the outcome that we were looking for. About 5 days later, we were given the news that her brain activity was not compatible with life. So we were given the choice to either take her off life support or wait and do organ donation. Organ donation was incredibly important to Shira, and so that's what we chose to do.
Now, organ donation, you instilled this in your children at a very early age. You know, let's talk about that briefly as well, and then talk about the goodness that came from this excruciating incident for the family.
I started volunteering with back when they were called the Red Cross, blood donor clinics, when the kids were really little, and that's when I learned about organ donation myself. So as young children, they were signed up to be organ donors, as well as my husband and myself. When they reached legal age, it was up to them. And it was one of the first things Shira did. When each of her kids were born, they were signed up immediately. So we knew it was something that was very important to her. So we had to put our own feelings aside and honor her wishes, as hard as it was to wait those few days.
Yeah, and her organs brought life to how many people?
5.
5 people. Great. Tell us how that went, and what did that look like?
So October 28th in the morning, she had her final CT, and they decided that there was enough lack of brain activity to legally be able to harvest her organs. So that night we walked her down the hall to the OR. She donated her lungs, her liver, kidneys, and her heart. About 1:30 in the morning, we got a call from the BC Transplant Society saying that all 5 operations were successful, which was, we were happy about that because it's what she wanted, but it also gave us a real sense of finality.
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay, so moving forward now, the people, the lucky recipients, do you stay in touch? Do you get to hear from these people how Shira's organs have changed their lives?
Yes. The BC Transplant Society has to be confidential for the first year. If both parties, both the recipient and the donor family, sign off that they are okay with open contact, then they will facilitate that for you after the first year. Before then, any correspondence from the recipients is anonymous. So we have received correspondence from the lung recipient who got to see her daughter graduate, from the heart recipient who gets to play with her grandchildren and go on big long hikes that I probably couldn't even do myself at this point. We heard from one of the kidney recipients, but it was very brief, but we were just happy to know that he was doing well.
Wow, wonderful. Now you started, as we wrap up here, you started a Facebook page to encourage people to donate, but that was during Shira's illness, just to communicate with everybody. What a great idea. And you said a lot of people let you know that they would love to, because you shared that story, they would love to be a part of that if something like that happened to them.
That's right. So I believe we provided a link. My memory's not so great, but we did get messages back from a lot of people just simply saying done, which was really heartwarming, because as hard as it was for us, we know that it made so many people ecstatic.
Oh, well, your whole family, I know you have a great community. The children are with their father, and they're with their grandparents as well. Thank you for sharing a very, very tough story. And obviously Shira lives on in all these people that are so, well, their lives have completely changed due to an absolute act of kindness from Shira and your family.
Mostly from Shira.
Thank you, Tracy.
Thank you.
This Act of Kindness segment was sponsored by the folks at the Creek House in the heart of Granville Island. They encourage you to open up your heart and reach out and help someone in need.